Okay, welcome everyone. Today's topic is excelling real estate through hard work, dedication, and the right mindset. Okay, that's today's topic. Let's talk about the key elements and components that you need to excel in real estate because real estate it's a very complicated business and most investors fail. Over 90% of the investors that get into real estate fail. Only 5% or less truly make it to the top. And we're going to find out and discover why and the things that you need to do to really get to the 5% of the investors that truly make it in real estate. Okay, because if you don't have the tools, the mindset, the technology to be able to level the playing field, then you're going to be left so far behind that it's not even funny, right? So what we don't want to do is spin our wheels trying to reinvent the wheel. And most importantly, one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen is when investors try to do too much and they end up doing very little, right? Because it's just impossible to become good at everything, right? So you have to focus on what's truly going to make you money and effective in real estate. So we're going to talk about um, what is it that it takes to become successful in real estate. So we're going to be talking about a couple of concepts and then we're going to do a recap on them. Okay. So number one, there are no shortcuts in real estate. Okay. Execution is going to trump knowledge. There are some people that learn, but take very little action. Okay, so the name of the game in real estate is execution. You're going to be making mistakes throughout the process, but that's just part of getting better and better, right? We make mistakes on a daily basis. Okay, we've been doing this for a few years already, yet we're facing new challenges, but that's what it's all about, getting better and better and better. So how do you really make it to the top and how do you avoid uh, failing in real estate? So the key components is that you have to have a team of great people to work with. What I'm talking about is you need to have a great accountant, great inspector, great contractors. You have to have wholesalers fitting you deals. You have to have capital partners. You have to have um, peers, okay, that you can bounce ideas off of, and most importantly, mentors, okay, people that you can ask questions. And one of the missing pieces of everything that I said that is oftentimes dismissed is having a virtual assistant, okay? Very few people talk about that, yet every single successful investor in real estate, I'm talking about the top 5%, have a crew, they have a team of VAs or virtual assistants. So let me ask you this. Who has VAs working for you, one, two, or however many you have today? Can you raise your hand or can you speak up if you currently have a VA, a virtual assistant? So a virtual assistant is somebody, whether they're local or across the globe, helping you on day-to-day tasks. They could be real estate related, they could be non-real estate related, just a virtual assistant. Does anybody have a VA? No one? Fred, George, Jessica, Manuel, Marlon, Mike, Nick, Ross, Sam, Stanley, Will? Anybody?
I'm married to one.
Oh, you are, Fred?
Yes, I am.
That's awesome. So, can you please share a little bit more? What is it that your wife does? Is she a VA for like working for you or helping you, or for some other people?
She's been doing it for small entrepreneurships and CEOs and stuff like that for years, long before I
That's
met her.
that's amazing. What platform is she on?
Um, she hasn't really been on a platform, so I'll ask her if she
Okay.
wants more work.
Well, so what has it been like for you to have or to live with a virtual assistant or per se? What has she told you? What's been the feedback, the conversations like? That's really cool.
Um, she's very good at helping people organize travel and stuff like that, meetings. She can build presentation um, decks, stuff like that.
Perfect.
Um, I've watched her do it.
That's awesome. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that, Fred. It is so critical to have a VA because let me tell you the rule of thumb. If you have something in your to-do list, okay, and that's something it's been sitting in your to-do list for more than 3 days. So it's been 3 days, and for whatever reason you haven't gotten to it, guess what? You need a VA. Okay, a VA is going to do pretty much anything that you want them to do that is mostly administrative, ministerial tasks. Okay, so let me give you examples of what we use them for in real estate. Okay, so we use them for every day-to-day operations. Okay, so they handle property management, they handle accounting, they handle customer service, they handle billing, they handle um, marketing, they handle promotions, they handle customer complaints, they handle deal analysis, they handle deal flagging, they handle offer making, and the list goes on and on and on. So we found VAs to be extremely um, productive, extremely important in our success. Okay, because we empower them, we delegate most day-to-day tasks that we oftentimes don't have time to, because sometimes as investors we take on too many things and we end up doing very little. So by delegating these tasks, you're going to free up so much time, and that's an intangible asset that is priceless. Okay, your time is worth so much, especially when you utilize it in the best possible way that is going to give you the highest return. Okay, it could be doing meaningful things in your life, or it could be in real estate, making offers, talking to sellers, talking to listing agents. That's when you will truly make money. When you're getting great deals on the contract, that's when you make money in real estate. Not when you wholesale, not when you buy and hold, not when you flip. That is phase two, but when you have great deals on the contract. So you want to make sure that you have a system in place so that your business runs without you. That's pretty much what it boils down to. So you need to have a replacement for yourself. I mean, it sounds difficult to believe, but if you want to be successful in real estate, that's what it takes, right? Because think about this. If you take, let's say, a day off, it's fair, it's a good idea, right? You want to spend time with your family, but what if there was like an amazing deal that came on that particular day? You want to make sure that you have a backup, that there is somebody that is looking out for these potential deals on your behalf, right? That's what you need to think of, that you are running a business, right? And that you cannot be the bottleneck of your own success. And how do you accomplish that? By delegating and empowering virtual assistants. I know it's really hard to swallow that pill because you may think, well, I could do this task in half an hour. Why should I pay somebody, let's say, $5 for half an hour if I could do it? That's what's really challenging. That's what was really difficult for me at the beginning, because I said, well, why should I pay when I could do that? But I soon realized that it's not about the money, it's more about the freedom of time. And not only that, but I realized that people who are specialists in certain tasks can do things better, faster, more efficient, and more effective than you can. And I'm talking about anything that you can think of, okay? In the real estate business. Because think about this. What is it that it takes to be successful in real estate? Number one, you need to understand the market, right? Where are you going to invest? Are you going to go in the suburbs, in the city? Are you going to do flips? Are you going to do wholesales or what, right? All that research we've done for our investors through Chicago DealVault, we have analysis reports for every single neighborhood, right? That was all done by virtual assistants. Obviously, the key to have a great support network is to have documentation and protocols for every single task. So the first time you've got to go through that, and then you've got to document the task. So the way we do that is we use a technology called Loom, Loom, just to record or document anything that you do. Okay, so let's say I want them to write a report. I'm going to record myself on the computer and every step that I take on the computer. Okay, so that's becomes sort of the documentation, and obviously that's for them to start, and they're going to make it better, and they're going to document it, because you always need to have a backup for yourself and even for VAs. And that seems to be the key for success, having a great support network, because real estate is the means, we're in the people's business, and that includes your support system. You've got to have a support system, okay? The houses, the properties, the deals, that is, I would say, the byproduct of having a great support system comprised of great people. So people are going to be your greatest asset in real estate, okay? And that's what's going to make you successful, because it is practically impossible for you to succeed if you're a single investor all by yourself. It's impossible to have all the pieces, because you're going to need to have knowledge, experience, time, capital, great credit. For somebody to have all of the pieces of the puzzle, it is very unlikely. I happen to know maybe one individual who is part of our network who's got all the pieces of the puzzle, but just one out of hundreds. So that tells you something, right? That you've got to create this support network. And that should start with the foundation. Think about this as a house. So you've got to have a really strong foundation, okay? So you're not just going to build a house on the ground without a slab or foundation, crawl space, any type of or sort of foundation. You've got to have that foundation, okay? And let's talk about that support network foundation. So your best foundation is going to be virtual assistants that are going to support you in different areas. So as a newbie, we're going to start with the common denominator. What are the tasks that you're going to need to be successful in real estate that need to be done, okay? I'm just going to quickly run through the road map for a successful investor. You've got to know where to invest. You've got to find the deals. You've got to be able to analyze them. You've got to be able to make offers. You need to have all your ducks in a row if you're going to do buy and hold and flip, because you need funding. You're going to need to be able to have construction resources. And finally, be able to market the property, whether you're going to flip it or rent it. So there are too many moving pieces to be successful. So will you be good at all of them? No. Do you want to be good in all of them? No, because it is practically impossible. So what is it that you really need to focus on becoming good at? Do you think it's going to be analyzing deals? The answer is no. Do you think he's going to be finding deals? No. Do you think he's going to be rehabbing resources? No. Do you think he's going to be selling the properties? No. So the answer is to have incredible people's skills, because that's what's going to allow you to build a very successful team. Okay, so we're going to start with, let's assume the common denominator is a newbie that is starting from scratch. Okay, they don't know what to do, where to start. So what are the resources, people-wise, that you're going to require to become part of that 5% of successful investors? So you're going to have a VA that is going to become a deal sourcer, deal analysis. That's going to be the task, deal analysis. So an analyst per se, okay? That's going to be very critical, okay? That's because there are going to be too many properties that are going to be coming your way from different directions, MLS of market, but you really need to have a filtering criteria for great deals, okay? And you need to have that individual that all they do is deal analysis for you. We have a dedicated resource that's all they do, whether it's MLS off market, full-time dedicated resource to do just deal analysis, okay? So that's gonna be a key component. The second key piece of the equation is to have construction resources, because rehabbing has become a critical piece of the equation. If you're going to do buy and hold and flips, you don't need to become a GC, but you really need to have a relationship with a good GC. Okay, now I'm going to make this distinction, because many investors know handyman, and we also have the category of GCs, general contractors. There's a huge difference day and night. We want to use maintenance people. They're typically not licensed or insured for upkeep or maintenance of a rental property. General contractors, they're licensed, they have insurance, they can pull permits. You want to use them for rehabbing properties. You cannot use maintenance or handyman to do rehabs, because it's gonna be more expensive, right? Because they may not know the code, they won't be able to pull permits, so it's not a good idea. So you have to work with reliable contractors, and that's the biggest headache of all investors. So the question is, where do you find them? Where are they, right? So we have a couple of crews that we utilize, that we share with the deal makers, Chicago DealVault and their preferred partners, and we have them by category, from GCs to plumbers, electricians, HVAC, drywall, and so forth, okay? So that's the second piece of the equation. So those are people that are local. Now let's go back to VAs. So for VAs, virtual assistant, we need somebody that is gonna be a deal analysis for you. You also need somebody that is going to help you with marketing, okay? What is it that you're gonna use marketing for, okay? So when you're in real estate, you're gonna be doing, ideally, engage in 3 exit strategies: wholesaling, buy and hold, and fix and flip. So where are you going to be using marketing? On the buy side and on the sell side. So you need to have a great real estate investor-friendly broker on your side, okay? Again, I want to emphasize real estate investor-friendly real estate broker, okay? Because guess what? If you engage in wholesaling, meaning getting a great deal on the contract and be able to sell the rights of that contract to somebody else, you've got to be a real estate broker. You don't need to get a license to be able to do wholesaling, because you can do it by using a real estate broker that is able and understands wholesaling, okay? They're also going to be able to help you negotiating deals. They're going to be able to sell properties on your behalf, right? So having a great real estate broker as part of your team is going to be critical. In our group, deal makers, we have about 10 in-house investor-friendly real estate brokers. They're all very experienced, most of them. I think we have a couple of new brokers, but the majority have a lot of experience. So working with a real estate broker is going to be critical. Okay. Now, the next biggest thing, right? So we have three components for success. Having obviously a great deal, having funding. I would say those are the two biggest hurdles for real estate brokers or for real estate investors. So let's talk about funding. Again, funding is going to depend on your connections, your relationships, okay? And as far as funding, you can get either private money from individuals and hard money lenders, institutions. They're both going to be very critical in your success. So which one should you focus on? I would say the most important to begin with as a newbie, which is the common denominator, is private money lenders. Okay. Why is that? Because guess what? When you're a newbie, you have no experience, you haven't done any deals, and that's going to be the biggest hurdle and obstacle for newbies. Getting a loan from a hard money lender. If you don't have experience, they don't want to work with you. They don't want to give you the money. And if they do, they're going to ask you for 20, 25% down. The terms are not going to be the most favorable for you. Interest rate is going to be high. Points are going to be high. So having a private money lender on your side is going to be critical because guess what? They will be able to fund 100% of the purchase, 100% of the rehab. So not only will you be able to save those reserves, but um, you will have very little skin on the game. Obviously, you're going to be liable. You're going to become, your name is going to be the personal guarantor on the loan. They're going to hold the first position lien on the property. So we'll make sure that their investment is secure. It's collateralized by the property itself. So having those partners, capital partners in particular, private money lenders, it's a key component, okay, for your success, at least for a newbie, okay? When you have experience, then a private money lender will not support your growth because they might have money today, they might not have money tomorrow, right? Because it might be deployed elsewhere or to somebody else. But having, once you have experience working with hard money lenders is just the way to go, right? Because they can fund as many deals as you can possibly bring to the table. So again, to begin with, you're gonna need somebody that is gonna help you analyze deals. You give them an address and they should be able to tell you the ARV, estimated rehab, and the most you should pay for the property, okay? Based on those two numbers, ARV, rehab, they should be able to tell you the most you should pay for it. So that's one, and then a capital partner. Now the question is, as a newbie, where do you find these capital partners? You've got to belong to a network, a RIA, because that's where you're going to find these capital partners. And to begin with, since you don't have experience, right, you may need to do a joint venture with another more experienced investor, right? That you shadow, that you become part of the transaction one way or another. So you might need to split the profit, maybe 60-40, so that there is some credibility and the private money lender has some sort of safety net security that their money is going to be safe, okay? Um, so those are the two main components, having the deal and the funding. Like for instance, we were supposed to close on a property, I believe Monday, and there was a delay from our hard money lender. They could not close on it. So obviously the seller was upset. And the other option that we had was to get the capital to pay for the property cash. So then today I happened to meet with one of our capital partners, and then I presented the deal. And it just took, I mean, over the phone, I just spoke with our capital partner, and then I quickly ran the numbers, and I said I need 167,000. Verbally, I got an okay, said we're good to go. But then officially, I met them in person, and we got the deal funded today. So obviously the money will be wired perhaps tomorrow, and we'll schedule closing by this week or early next week. Okay, but again, that's the power of relationships. Okay, and then in fact, let me share what it takes to get the deal funded, because you need to be able to present the deal in such a way that is going to get funded, and everything needs to be nicely presented, because they just want to see how much you're going to pay for it, how much money you're going to put in the property, and how much you're going to be able to sell it for. Okay, so let me just share my screen to show you what it typically takes to get funding and present the deal successfully, right? Even though we have a lot of experience, we don't take it for granted. We treat every single capital partner as if it was the first time we wanted to get funding. Even though I got the okay and the thumbs up over the phone, I really take this serious and professional. Okay, every time we request funding, because we need to treat their money as if it was yours. Okay, so this is an example of how we presented the deal. By the way, this is an example of a marketing proposal for funding that was created by a VA, a virtual assistant. So I did not personally create this presentation, it was done for me. All I needed to get is the PDF, and then I just printed it out. That's it. I didn't do absolutely anything on it. Our deal analyst did all the numbers, and our marketing VA prepared the presentation. So we include the pictures, the area of the property, and a quick summary, right? So the purchase price is 135 for this particular property. ARV is about 227, rehab 31,000, right? So this is going to be a flip exit strategy. As you can see, the rehab on this property is very light. Okay, kitchen and bathroom are in good shape, right? So flooring needs to be perhaps repaired here and there, but overall the property is in pretty good shape. So you present the pictures, location, and then scope of work, right? What is it that you're going to do, and where are you going to spend the money? So here's the quick breakdown. So as you can see, there's nothing fancy, no details. These could be read by a fifth grader. Okay, super simple. Okay, nothing fancy. This is where we get a little bit more into the numbers, right? But in a nutshell, purchase price, I mean ARV, purchase price, rehab, and estimated profit on the deal. So we do that for a flip and for a buy and hold, okay? And then we include the comps or the CMA. So what are the comparable properties in the neighborhood selling for, and how long they're taking to sell? So we have that and the details of the comps, right? We want to make sure that we compare apples with apples. So we include this. This was all done by a virtual assistant. So as you can see, this is extremely powerful. And we go back to the use of VAs. Okay, so the end result was that we got funded for the property. And not only that, but our capital partner said, I really like how you present and you have everything in writing, Hugo. I said, we treat this as a business and we are serious about it, and we want to make sure that your investment is secure, and we present it in such a way, right? Just to make sure that we mitigate any potential risk on the capital partner side, okay? So again, going back to the critical foundation of your support network, a virtual assistant is going to be able to analyze the deal, create any marketing material to present this for funding, okay? Because if you don't have something in writing, it's going to be very difficult, especially if you're a newbie. You want to anticipate your capital partners' questions. So recap, what exactly are you going to do? What's going to be the ARV? When do you expect to sell it? What's the fallback plan? If you don't sell it, will you be able to rent it? And if so, will you be able to pay me off? And what's going to be your cash flow, if any, right? All these questions are answered in one document, which is the one that I just showed you. So that's an example of a support network that is working for you on deal analysis, deal marketing, okay? So again, we focus on two areas, finding deals and then funding. Now, as far as finding deals, right, as I mentioned earlier, dedicated resource that we count on for deal analysis, deal sourcing. Well, guess what? The best deals have not come from MLS. They have not come from wholesalers. Our best deals have come from relationships. Okay, people that we know of that they said, hey, you know, we have this lead, we have this seller that is motivated, right? So these are deals that never ever make it to the market. They are never blasted to the network. They come to us through relationships. In fact, that has been my role in the last 2 years, to build relationships, okay? Because I realized that it doesn't matter how sharp you are, how intelligent you are, how much money you have. It doesn't really matter. But what truly matters is how well you communicate, how well you build relationships with peers, mentors, and overall partners. Okay, you've got to treat everyone. These are the rules. Okay, to have very successful relationships. And you may think it's simple, but it's not so simple. What does it take to build a successful relationship? To build a successful relationship, you need to think and understand what the other person's interests are. Okay? What is it that they're looking for? And what is it that you can do to help them? Okay? So it's a two-way street. Okay? It's not only about you, I need. No, it's in fact the opposite. What can I do to make you more successful? Okay, that's going to be the critical component of building strong, long lasting relationships. How can I help you be more successful? Okay, when you do that with multiple people, right, anticipating what they may need, that's when those great relationships get established. Because have you ever come across people who are, as they call them, takers, right? They just call you when they need something. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel good? I don't think so. Some people may make you feel used, right? Whenever they call you is because they need something. But what if you have somebody, in this case, I believe is you, that you reach out to people just to say hi, being authentic and honest? How are you doing? Is there anything that, you know, I could do to help? Right? These are my strengths. This is what I can bring to the table, whether it's time, money, experience, capital, right? You always need to bring your cards on the table. This is how I can potentially help you. Uh, can I be of any service to you? Right? Can you imagine, right? When somebody comes to you and they say, well, you know, this is how I can help you. Is there anything I can do for you, right? How would that make you feel? You're going to stand out. You're going to really, really stand out, and people will think of you. But most important, and really, really, really pay attention to this. It's not a matter of doing this only once and that's it. It's the consistency, it's the follow up, right? You don't do only this once, you've got to follow up and be in touch. As they say, out of mind, no, out of sight, out of mind, right? So you always need to be present in people's minds. And that's what we become really good at, right? So with our capital partners, right, our investor partners, we are always present in their mind. Why and how? By touching base with them. We always touch base with them at least once a week or every other week. At the latest, we've done it every 3 weeks. Okay, that we just didn't keep in touch with them. And when we reach out to them, the way we approach or communicate is, hey, just going to say hi. Is there anything that I can help you with, right? Is there anything that you need that I could be of assistance? That's how you're going to build these amazing relationships, because you're going to be in their mind. So when they have something, when they have a deal, when they have an opportunity, guess who they're going to reach out to? You, okay? So that is very, very important. Remember, never become a taker, always become a giver. Because if you think about it, the really successful companies, investors, people are the ones who add value to other people's lives, okay? There's no shortcut. When you add value to other people's lives, that's when you truly won't have to chase money, okay? Opportunities are going to come your way left and right. Um, are there any questions so far? Anything that you guys want to add or share based on your experience on the things that we discussed? And in fact, I'm going to give you a challenge, right? That you can apply today. In fact, tonight. I'm sure everyone has a significant other or somebody that you really like. Try it today, tonight. Once we finish the webinar, give them a call, reach out to them, and tell them, is there anything that I can do for you today to make you feel supported? Just exactly what I told you. Is there anything that I can do tonight to make you feel supported? It might be maybe making them coffee, or it might be making uh, just maybe listening to them, or maybe anything that they think of, right? They will be like blown out of their mind when you say that. Is there anything that I can do for you to make you feel supported? Say that, okay, to somebody in your household. It could be your daughter, it could be your significant other, your wife, your boyfriend, whoever you can think of, whoever's closer to you, regardless of the age. Try that. It's going to be extremely, extremely powerful. Because when building great relationships, this is the key, okay, of having a great relationship. And it's called be attuned uh, to them. So that's attunement, okay? What that means is anticipate what their needs are going to be for that particular day, okay? It's that simple. Anticipation of what their needs are going to be. Let's talk about somebody that you know of. If you know that they're going to have a big day tomorrow, right? What if you were to give them maybe, or help them make breakfast for them, or maybe help them prepare their backpack, or maybe help them prepare their clothes? Add value, anticipate their needs, right? That's going to be extremely powerful. So that's just an example that you can take on, sort of like a challenge for you in your personal life, to give it a try. right? And guess what? Real estate is no different because we're in the people's business. So when you work with business partners, it's exactly the same thing, right? What is it that I can do to help you, to make you feel supported or to make you more successful, right? What is it that I can do to help? It's going to have a huge impact, right? Instead of, right, as I said before, calling them only when you need something. That's not the best case scenario, okay? You always want to be in touch with them and find out what you can do for them. When you do that, guess what? You're going to be surrounded by great people that value true friendships because you will build in real estate long-lasting friendships, um, and obviously business partners, okay? So I just wanted to spend a little bit more time on relationships because this is often dismissed. This is often forgiven or forgotten, yet it's one of the critical pieces for your success in real estate. So again, I would like to quickly recap some of the things that we talk about. You've got to have a foundation in your support system, and that should be comprised of local partners and offshore or virtual assistants. Okay, virtual assistants are going to help you create marketing presentations, deal analysis, any miscellaneous tasks that is in your to-do list that you haven't gotten to for more than 3 days. That is a great candidate for a VA, and they can do anything that you can think of better, faster, cheaper, more efficient, and more effective than you can possibly think of. You've got to free your time, okay, and focus on what's going to make you money, which is talking to listing agents, to sellers, partners, building relationships, making offers. That's what's truly going to make you successful in real estate. And please don't try to wear too many hats in real estate. Don't try to become an inspector, a GC, an accountant, a property manager, a lender. None of that stuff, please. Don't try to become a software technologist. None of that stuff. Become the best relationship individual that you can possibly become. Okay? Um, because that is why you have experts in all these areas. You have property managers, you have accountants, you have tax appealed attorneys, you have inspectors, you have brokers, real estate brokers, um, you have appraisers, you have lenders, you have private money lenders. So what is it that you need? You need them on your side. You need them as part of your team. Okay, and that's what we've been doing in the last 2, 3 years, building great relationships. So when you build a team, you're gonna see people go out of your network, in your network. Our rule of thumb is that we don't have politics in our relationships. It's all performance driven. Okay, we like to work with the best, exclusively the best, because if one of the links in the chain breaks off, the whole thing falls apart. So you really want to make sure that you work with the top people in the industry. So again, as a newbie, your best bet will be to reach out to peers and always have a mentor, somebody that you can bounce off ideas off of, that you can call, that you can ask questions, because it's impossible for someone, including myself, to know it all. I always talk to peers and mentors. I have mentors because I don't know the answers for everything. I want to run ideas by somebody. And I say, what do you think about this? Why should I do this? Don't be afraid to ask questions because there are not such dumb questions. Every question is fair. Okay. I even ask simple questions to other people, right? And always have an open mind, right? They call it growth mind. That means that be receptive to feedback. That is going to be critical because that's how you're going to be growing, learning from other people's experience. That's going to be very critical. So all revolves around relationships, and by the byproduct will be a very successful real estate business. That's going to put you in the 5% of investors that truly make it to the top. Okay. Always act with honesty, transparency. It's okay to make mistakes because we've made mistakes. We currently make mistakes and will continue to make mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes, but always become accountable, be honest and transparent, right? Always act with the truth because that's going to get you really far out, okay? A mistake could be forgiven, but a lie, deceptive behavior will not be forgotten. Okay, so a mistake, it's normal because guess what? We all make mistakes. It's impossible for you to know it all. Therefore, execution will trump knowledge all day long. Okay, please don't try to learn it all. Rely on people, rely on experts, and execute. That's that's gonna trump knowledge all day long. Execution is gonna get you very far. Um, and when something is risky, just run it by somebody else. If you don't feel comfortable, run it by somebody who knows more, who's got more experience than you do. When you partner up with a peer, try to always partner up with somebody who knows more than you do. Okay, don't try to partner up with somebody who knows less than you do because that's going to put you in a really tough situation. Okay. Um, so that's what it takes to be successful in real estate. It's not a quick get rich scheme. No, it's a long term. Wealth in real estate is accomplished through owning rentals. That's simple. Over time, property prices will go up, your net worth will go up, rents go up over time, your cash flow will go up. So the true wealth in real estate is through passive income, through rentals. Flips and wholesales are also important to capitalize yourself. Again, flips, be very cautious. Right now, we have a sinking market, declining ARVs, so be very cautious on flips. And then wholesaling, it's going to be always there. It's always a great exit strategy um, if the numbers make sense, but it's not in your neighborhood. It's not the type of rehab that you want to engage. But guess what? It could be an amazing property for somebody else. So wholesaling, okay? So if you want to learn more about what we do as a group, the deal makers, set up a one-on-one with myself. All you need to do is email support. I'm gonna put it on the chat, support at chicagodealvault.com, and we'll set up a meeting to fully understand where you are, where you want to be, and what's holding you back, how we can help you, right, become more successful in your real estate career. Are there any questions before we do a recap on and a summary on everything that we talked about today? Are there any questions, suggestions, any input, feedback?
Hugo, I have a question. Is there
Yes.
any good age or good time to invest in real estate or buy a few real estate? I mean, I believe the younger you are, the better it is, but how about in the older age? Would you recommend getting
Uh,
involved?
Absolutely, but you've got to be very cautious because when you are, when somebody's older, then you don't have much time to recoup if you make a mistake, right? A mistake can wipe you out, especially if you have lifetime savings, pension plans that you're leveraging from. So you just need to be extremely conservative on the investment. So flips obviously are risky, but buy and holds right now, rents are through the sky, are always a good investment. So regardless of the age, the best time to be in real estate was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Right now, we've seen an increase in inventory. We see motivated sellers. So right now, we're seeing more deals popping up. So yeah, be very conservative. But yeah, real estate is by far one of the best instruments for retirement and wealth.
Hugo, the lender that you're working with, if I buy a condo with 50% down, for example, are they willing to give me loan with 20% down for the next one to
Yeah,
add
absolutely.
to the inventory.
Absolutely. Just be aware of condos, right? Because they have bylaws and they can change overnight. So today, you might be able to rent the property. Tomorrow, you may not. Or
Yes.
guess what? They might do condo conversion, and then guess what? You won't be able to sell the property. You might be bought out.
Yeah.
So things could go different directions when you own a condo. So just be aware of that. It's a little bit risky for as an investment because you pretty much are at the mercy of the association. Okay, they might put rental caps, so things could change overnight.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. I listed a condo in Palatine, very nice one for 140,000. But now they changed the association that the new association says no rental. So two serious buyer I had, they just ran away.
Of course, of
Yeah, that
course,
makes a big difference. You're right.
of course, yeah. So be very cautious on condos. I mean, ideally, stick to single family homes or multi-units. Yeah.
Yes.
So that you
Thank you.
have 100% control, no problem. Any other questions? Ross, Ron, Mike, Mary, Manuel, George, Fred, Alberto.
Ego, that 20 unit that you bought in was it Lansing or I forgot where was it? Did you get it done? Did you finally finish it?
A 20-unit building? No, no, we have never bought that big of a building.
Or you didn't go through with it?
Oh, you mean in South Holland, 20 properties?
Yes, yes,
No, no,
yes.
no. The seller backed out the last minute. And I was thinking about that the other day. Now that the market sank completely, and in South Holland, they have the rental moratorium. So the only exit strategy that you could have is a flip. And guess what? Right now, South Holland, my goodness, is extremely slow for
Wow.
sales. So we would be sort of like stuck on one exit strategy in a market that is not moving. So in a
So you're
sense,
lucky.
yeah, and,
Lucky
and
you got
we're
out of it.
lucky. We're lucky the seller didn't grant an extension, and we didn't end up buying that inventory in South Holland. Because right now we have two properties for sale in South Holland, so we know for a fact the market in South Holland is extremely slow for sales.
Yeah, this is crazy market right now.
Yeah, and you cannot rent them, so figure that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I mean, I have single family in Palatine, and I had 20 showing and no offer.
yeah, I know. So rentals are the way to go right now.
The way to go.
Yeah, great questions,
Great.
Sam. Anybody else? Any other questions, suggestions, comments, anything you would like to share? So I'm going to share the resource that we use for VAs. So I'm going to put it on the chat. It's called Upwork. So you can find Upwork. I'm going to share my screen. So this is one website where you can find virtual assistants. These are for, I'm going to say, long-term engagements, okay? And then there's another one called Fiverr. That's for short-term engagements, meaning that you want, let's say, a website, you want a logo, you want something. This is for short-term, okay? And then if you need somebody local to do something for you, then you want to use TaskRabbit. Okay, these are the three websites that we use. For instance, let me give an example. We needed to take, I think it was a class for one of the villages that they required. We hired a TaskRabbit, somebody that went to the village. They took some sort of training that was required by the village. So that worked out amazing. Fiverr, short term. So we have people that have done logos, flyers, marketing materials for us. And then Upwork, it's for a long-term engagement, some sort of like a VA long-term. So we have marketing, social media, deal analysts, accountants, customer service, billing, and so forth. So for them, we use Upwork. So those are the three resources that we use for VAs, okay? Because you must have at least one individual that is going to help you on your to-do list that haven't been done for more than 3 days. That's a rule of thumb, okay? So please check out these websites. You'll be happy you use or you have a VA. Once you start using a VA, guess what? There's no way that you will live without a VA. It is that simple, okay? Believe me, from experience, they are incredible. So they're gonna free up some of your time because your time is gonna be more valuable when you build relationships. So when they join our, in this case, our group or network, we have them reach out to peers, right? That's gonna be where your time is gonna be well spent. Reach out to people, connect, find out what is it that you can do for them? What can you bring to the table, right? And also be aware of your weaknesses. What is it that you need? Never be afraid of telling people and sharing, I need whatever you need, right? But before that, just tell them how you can contribute towards somebody else's success. Okay. Again, we're in the people's business. Real estate is just the mean, but you will truly be in the 5% of successful investors when you have a great network support team, as well as peers, mentors um, in your team. Are there any questions, anything that anybody would like to share or ask?
Eiko, you mentioned that we can hire VA for the analyze the property.
Yeah,
They should be expert in the market in that area, probably to do a good job, right?
absolutely. And there are many. There are many real estate VAs. I mean, we have one that has blown my mind time after time after time. One time we did a one-on-one session. We were doing a CMA on a property, and then I was driving, right? On the computer, I was sharing my screen, and he told me, "Hey, Hugo, I think we need to add a couple of more filters because of this and this and this reason." So he was absolutely right. And I'm a managing broker, but boy, does he know the stuff left and right. So yeah, we obviously ended up hiring that VA or that resource as our backend resource. So yeah, you'll be surprised. They're extremely knowledgeable people. They know, and they've worked for other real estate investors. So they understand. They know.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Local agents, very helpful.
Of
I
course.
thought you were talking about hiring somebody out there outside in the Philippines and
Oh yeah,
some of
yeah,
the
yeah.
other
So
countries.
we have real estate brokers offshore for sure. We have accountants, real estate brokers, social media, marketing, promotions, CRM, obviously technologists. We have people that do phone apps, software development, QA. So our network of VAs is about 20 people. So it's pretty extensive.
Wow.
Yeah. And we have, customer service, billing, and we also have one layer. Like we have a couple of managers that manage all the resources. The key thing is that the business runs without you because the biggest bottleneck of your success is yourself. So you've got to extract yourself from the equation and have the business run. It is hard to understand, but believe me, it's 100% possible using resources because they'll be able to do things better than you. I mean, the farther
Cor-
away I stay from things, the better things run. I mean, it's
Correct.
just I cannot understand that. But I told the team, every time they give me a task, I don't do it on time, and guess what? I become the bottleneck. So I've told them, please, I empower them, and I want them to think like me. and I give them the authority to take decisions on anything. It could be billing, it could be anything, and that has worked amazing. And I'm surprised time after time how they are able to make amazing decisions. Of course, they also make mistakes like I've made, and it's okay to make mistakes because we're learning, we're getting better. That's the key. Because the key is for everyone to execute. That's key. That's rule number one for us, execution. And that's done through empowerment.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, it's just like cloning yourself. I mean,
Yeah,
being at one place, I mean, 10 places at one time.
exactly, exactly. So when you're out of commission, which I've been out of commission endless number of times, right? Through health reasons, through vacation, whatever, things continue to run and they run perfectly fine. And that's what you want, right? You don't want to become the bottleneck. You don't want things to go down the hill if you're not there, because there are going to be many times that you cannot be there physically, mentally, emotionally. So you've got to have a backup. That's simple because you are truly running a business. It's not
Yeah,
a hobby.
we have to copy the McDonald's what they are doing and so how successful they are.
Exactly. I mean, you can think about anything that you need or want, whether it's business related or hobby wise, and a VA can do that for you. Let me give you an example. Like, I want to learn Italian. And you know what I said? You know, Frida is from Albania. I said, I want somebody who can teach me Italian and Albanian at the same time. Guess what? I found a VA from Albania who's fluent in Italian. So every single morning at 9 a.m., I get a phone call from, her name is Nedina. So she teaches me Italian for 25 minutes and then 5 minutes Albanian every single day of the week, except weekends. And you know, you pay them a fraction of what you would pay anybody. But the key is the quality, right? I have
Yeah,
almost a native Italian who also is fluent in Albanian. So everything that you can think of is possible via VAs. I mean, it's insane, right?
yes,
I
yes,
can say, if I can tell you right now, I want to learn, let's say, Italian with a native speaker. I can find in 5 minutes an Italian native speaker who can teach me Italian on a daily basis or whenever I want. That simple for a fraction of the price that you would pay somebody here. It's the power of VAs.
it is. Yeah, just ask you Google and it will help you to find it.
Yeah, actually Upwork. I found them through Upwork. You know, like
Upwork.
when I got married in Albania, right? I
Yes,
wanted to give a speech in Albanian. So I
yes.
hired somebody who not only did the translation, but trained me on the pronunciation. And I memorized the whole speech. So
Oh,
when I was, you know, at the wedding, I was able to speak for maybe, I don't know, a minute or 2 minutes in Albanian, a beautiful speech. Everyone was like blown out of their mind, and that
wow,
was done through a VA.
wow.
And it gets better. Let me tell you this: I think we got a loan. You know, when the pandemic occurred for over 100,000. Guess who filled out the application? A VA, and
Really?
we got over, like, I don't know, maybe 120,000. It was just a crazy amount, right? A loan from the government, and that was all done by VAs.
Yes.
I mean,
Ye-
I don't know. I can go on and on and on incredible things that they've done that I couldn't have done them myself. So when
Yes.
I realized the power of these um, people, you know, just the brain power behind VAs, it's like mind blowing. It's like, oh my goodness, I don't want to get in the middle of these people. I want to empower them. I want them to do everything. Uh, because when they take action, my goodness, things run
Yes.
amazing.
Great, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for participating. Anybody else? Any other questions?
So Hugo, so like with your VAs, like if you wanted like reports to be pulled or to do analysis a certain way, do you give them a template of what you're looking for, or do you work with them to show them what you do or what filters and things of that sort, and then this way they recreate whatever you're doing in the format you want? How does that work?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that question, George. So the first time that you want them to do something, you really need to be specific, give them examples of what you want done, and then have them document or you document it either way. But the first time, yes, you've got to be extremely specific and they will follow things step by step. So yeah, the first time you need to tell them. But you don't need to be precise. You can just give them an idea, like I gave them an idea, and they're going to make it better. They always come up with things better than what I think of. They always beautify things. They always blow my mind away because these people are, I mean, younger generations. I mean, they're just really good at what they do. So we hire specialists. So yeah, the first time, just give them an idea, as much detail as possible, but I'm sure they'll make it better, for sure.
So how are you comfortable giving sensitive information like your personal information to fill out applications, like you said, loan applications and things like that, and you're not scared that they're going to steal your information or use it somewhere else unknowingly to you, which could potentially damage you going forward?
That's a great question, and that was done. That has been done partially with time by building trust. And today they have access to our business credit card. They have access to our billing information. They even have my personal credit card. So that is just done through trust. So I built an incredible relationship with them. So let me give an example. One of the VA managers happens to be from Ukraine, and last year I happened to be in Ukraine. So I met her. We had an incredible time. She took us, her and her husband took us everywhere in Ukraine. So it was an incredible experience. And guess what? Now the war started, right? So guess what? She fled to Germany with her family. So now, my relationship with her is really strong. And I told her when things happened, right, that she had to flee Ukraine to go to Germany. I said, you have my support. If you're able to work 10 hours a week, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna pay you 50 hours. If you can work 20 hours, good. Whatever you can work, my commitment to continue to support your family will be there. And that commitment lasted for several months up until today. And now, she got settled in Germany and, she told me, hey, Hugo, she was telling me, for instance, hey, Hugo, my apartment is really hot. And she told me that. So guess what? I bought an AC unit and boom, through Amazon, and it got delivered in Germany. Last week, I bought a fridge for her and it got delivered in her unit in Germany, right? So we just built such a strong relationship, right? And trust. Um, so that obviously happened over time, right? But I'm there for them when they need anything, right? So we've gone beyond business. So I have gotten to know them at a personal level, right? Another VA had a motorcycle accident and his cell phone broke. Guess what? I bought him a brand new phone. Things like that, right? Or let me give you an example. We have VAs in the Philippines. At the end of the year, they have what's called the 13th month. So by law, companies pay them in December an entire month of salary. Guess what? I don't need to comply, but I do. I do give them at the end of the year one full month of pay, even though that's just their custom. I comply with local customs wherever they're from. Does that make sense? So we built such a strong relationship that when we need something, like today, I needed some loan documents done like in 15 minutes. I called them. I said, I need this done in the next 15 minutes. Boom. They dropped everything, two VAs. They dropped everything and they got it done in 15 minutes as I asked them for. Everything was perfect. So yeah, to answer your question, it takes time to build that relationship, but it's totally doable, and I feel very comfortable and confident, and they've proven that time after time. We have VAs that do P&Ls, so they see every transaction, everything that we do, right? So we send transactions via Excel. So yeah, does that answer your question, George?
Yes, absolutely. So that's very interesting. That's great that you had those relationships. I guess I will definitely venture into this area and try to start using a VA.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very important uh, to build, and again, it all revolves around relationships, right? Um, yeah. So yeah, I'm there when they need me, and vice versa. When we need things, things happen for us. So yeah,
Can I ask? Can I ask you when you started out using VAs? How long did it take you, or how many did you have to go through before you got to a certain point where you're comfortable with the ones that you had? Did you have to go through quite a few of them?
very good question. Yeah, at the beginning, I went through quite a few, right? If if they just didn't do good quality work on time, then I just had to cancel the contract. So you need to start just like with contractors, give them a small project, and then you start building up, building up, building up. So you start at the small, and then you grow because you want to test them out.
Absolutely. So, like you just mentioned, you needed loan documents. So you're using your VAs to recreate loan docs that you've had before when you do like private money lending from a private money lender. So you're just taking an old document, maybe somebody with a legal background, and then they're just basically recreating that document with your terms that you required in that document. That's what you're doing.
Absolutely. So we have different templates because we do equity partnerships, we do interest-only loans, so we have different templates. So all I need to say is, this is the lender, these are the terms, and boom, they generate them in minutes.
Are those the templates that you have on the website that you have that you support?
Um, I believe so, but I need to check because we have multiple templates. So we published some JV agreements. Yeah, we use those, but we also have some loan documents. So those are extensive documents, like the mortgage, the
Yes.
note, rent of assignments, loan purpose. So yeah, those are separate documents. So we have templates for those, for a JV or equity partnership, for just interest only on the money. So we have different templates that they can generate, they can fill
Going.
out.
Okay, and then can I ask you, do you have any type of loan templates like that, but that are for unsecured loans also? Do you have any templates like that on the website? Because I did not see anything for unsecured loans.
We use JV agreements. Those are for unsecured loans. So we have the flip or the rental JV agreements, and they're sort of unsecured. Um, yeah. So that stipulates contribution and profit split, and they're unsecured, so there's no collateral on those funds, which is,
Right, that's what I'm looking for,
oh
exactly.
yeah, we do have them on Chicago DealVault on their documents, and we have them on their partnerships. So you'll find them right there for unsecured.
Okay, great. I'm gonna look that up. Thank you.
Uh, no problem. Any other questions, anybody? Great. So yeah, this webinar was recorded, so we'll share the replay. And then government grants. Oh, so the government grants, They happen, during the pandemic. It was last year, I believe. Obviously, right now there are no more loans or grants available for businesses. But yeah, we got pretty lucky. So mm, let me see any other questions in the chat. So no questions. So again, if you want to schedule a one-on-one with me, please email support@chicagodealvault.com, and I'll be happy to have a one-on-one to fully understand where you are, where you want to be, and what's missing for you. Okay, because I want to make sure that you are in the 5% of the investors who are truly successful in real estate. Okay, I don't want you to be part of the statistics, right, of the 95 who don't really make it to where they should. I want you to be truly successful and level the playing field with the key players in the industry. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. Thank you everyone for participating, and have a wonderful evening. Please reach out if you need any resources or any help. So thank you everyone. Have a wonderful night.